The Delhi Police Crime Branch has detained 5 persons on charges of leaking or attempting to access confidential government documents from different ministries pertaining to policy matters. The detained people are being accused of leaking confidential information to business houses to tweak government policy decisions. Headlines today has gathered that documents of Petroleum Ministry were leaked to benefit a business house. One government official has been detained in connection with this case. The Delhi police is interrogating these 5 detained persons to know more. A statement is expected soon. Joining me now for more on this is Headlines Today's Deputy Editor Atir Khan, breaking the story. Atir, what more can you tell us? Who are these people who've been detained?
Well, Gaurav, what we understand from our sources is it seems to be a big racket of operatives who had access to various ministries from where they had been smuggling out confidential documents which were meant for consumption of business houses for their interest. Now, the crime branch has detained certain persons in this regard, and they are being interrogated. As of now, what we are learning is that crime branch is likely to make several arrests in this connection, and it is also in the process of identifying the persons who are supplying these documents, Gaurav.
Do we know what were these documents only from the Petroleum Ministry or other ministries also?
Well, they had access to various ministries, but as of now, we've learned that they had been, passing on documents, confidential documents relating to Petroleum Ministry, and it amounted to wrongful gain to a particular business house. Police is making inquiries in this connection, and it is likely to make arrests very soon, Gaurav.
Do we know which business house were they attempting to benefit?
Well, Gaurav, the police has a fair idea of which business houses they were catering to. But as of now, the police is absolutely tight-lipped because they are in the process of making arrests and, building up a case. But clearly it seems to be a big ring which was operating from New Delhi.
This was a big ring that was operating out of New Delhi. You stay with me for a moment. These men, 5, including one government official, they've been detained for questioning. Arthur is still trying to figure out what is his name, what is his rank, how crucial was he in the government hierarchy. I want to bring in former CBI Director Joginder Singh for more on this, for his perspective. After the Navy War Room leaked, Mr. Joginder Singh, rules were tweaked. But it seems despite rules being tweaked, information seems to be filtering out, documents seem to be filtering out, sir.
See, nothing. There is a Punjabi saying, Ishq or mushk, love and smell cannot be hidden. How long will they hide it? It is bound to come out. And secondly, it is something, Rahul, which is an everyday affair in the government of India. The first case, I would only remind you, was of Kumar Narayan during Rajiv Gandhi's time. And you have the famous or infamous radio tapes, which was also a record of the between including some MPs of the then ruling parties, which were associated with the government. They were there, they spent a year or so in jail. And it is something which is going on, but unfortunately we have not amended the law. We have not put the onus on these people who have passed on this information as to how they got. It is still left to the police to prove that this document was with these people and they got it from the government. I mean, we are still carrying on with 1863 laws here. And this way, I think we get kicks left, right, and center.
Apparently, Mr. Joginder Singh, this is a huge racket. It's a nexus that apparently is about to be exposed by the Delhi police. Stay with me for a moment, Mr. Joginder Singh. I also want to bring in BJP's Sudhanshu Mittal for more on this. Sudhanshu Mittal, there seems to be something drastically wrong. The last time the Navy War Room leak happened, there was industrial espionage leaked to various arms dealers and business houses. The same seems to be happening once again. Is government scrutiny poor?
Mr. Samant, there are rogue elements in any system. What is critical is that these rogue elements must be identified, isolated, apprehended and punished. this is a very serious matter. The importance of the matter can never be undermined for the simple reason that whatever is confidential to the system must remain. But every system works on the inherent trust of its employees. Every system trusts its employees. And if there is delinquency in the employees, it must be dealt with very, very severely and very seriously. The employees who have been caught is just one thing. What is critical is who are the beneficiaries of these informations. A very detailed and thorough probe must be undertaken. I'm sure the Delhi police will do that because there is nobody in the government who will ever condone such delinquency which can endanger national security. And I'm sure, the real culprits will be unearthed. They would be exposed. And the law will punish these people who indulge in such activities which can endanger national security.
Okay, stay with me for a moment, sir. I also want to bring in Atir Khan for more on this. Atir, your sources in the Delhi police are painting a very grim picture. These are not just government officials and those who work or claim to work for public relations companies. There are apparently others who are engaged in this, some who've been brought in for questioning. What more can you tell us? Who are these others who've been brought in for questioning?
Well, Gaurav, what we know is that the Delhi police had a tip-off that there was a racket which was operating and several persons are involved in this racket. They have access to various ministries. And ahead of the budget session, they were also trying to smuggle in documents which could benefit particular business houses. And it would amount to wrongful gain. A straight case of cheating is made out against them. Following which the police has acted and they have detained these persons. They are being interrogated. As of now, the police wants to identify the source of these documents, the people, the black sheep in the ministries who were providing these documents.
Okay.
It seems it will be a while before the police divulge all the details. At the moment, what we know is that they are absolutely tight-lipped while they are carrying out operations.
Also joining me on the broadcast is Dr. Karthikeyan, former CBI chief. Mr. Karthikeyan, how difficult is it to get to the source of the leak of documents in such cases, sir?
Now, from what you are telling, I don't know, I have just landed in Delhi. Going by what you are telling, if people who have been indulging in unethical, treacherous activities have been involved in the government, that is leaking out sensitive information to favor some individuals, they deserve to be dealt with. If, it's a very difficult job, and if what you say is right, Delhi police officers have to be complimented, and the people who are arrested, irrespective of the position, should be dealt with very severely, arrested, of course, suspended, prosecuted, and got convicted.
But is it difficult to trace the document to the original source, considering government papers pass through several offices, it changes several hands, and that perhaps gives a kind of cover of secrecy and also deniability to whoever may have leaked these documents, sir?
See, any case of detecting espionage or leaking out sensitive information is not easy. But obviously some good job has been done by the officers concerned. They must have been watching them. They must have gone a tip-off. And I'm sure they will have enough evidence. Without enough evidence and conviction, they have not, arrest government people, government officers. I'm sure they have enough evidence and they will be capable of producing them in the court of law also. I mean, going by what you say, I don't know the facts of the case.
Yes. Very, very sketchy details at this stage. Headlines today is Atir Khan breaking this story. 5 people have now been officially arrested and one of them is a government officer. Joining me now for more on this is former Information and Broadcasting Minister and Congress Party leader Manish Tiwari. Mr. Tiwari, what do you make of confidential government papers being ferreted out of various ministries to benefit certain business houses?
Is that Gaurav Sawant?
That's Gaurav Sawant, sir.
Good evening, Gaurav. Well, it's indeed a very, very serious matter. If at all there has been a deliberate attempt to try and access material which has been held in confidentiality, then obviously it needs to be investigated. The police to get to the bottom of it. And whosoever is responsible, needs to be dealt with severely.
And this is extremely difficult, tracing a document to its source. Would you fear a cover-up or not at all?
Well, it's too premature to be talking about a cover-up or in any other manner. The fact is that, as you were pointing out, that some people have been detained or arrested. So therefore, if people have been detained or arrested, obviously there must have been a certain background to the entire operation. So therefore, let's wait and see as to what are the details which emerge. Because after the Right to Information Act came in, a large amount of material is very freely available to the citizens, and that includes corporate bodies also. So what is that material which whosoever was trying to access? Was it confidential? Was it secret? Was it supposed to be held in confidentiality? So till the time the details don't emerge, Gaurav, it would be a little irresponsible to speculate.
Yes, absolutely. For the moment, Mr. Manish Tiwari, many thanks for joining me. Former Information and Broadcasting Minister, Congress Party leader there. Are there any details now of what kind of papers went out of which ministry, apart from Petroleum Ministry, and even in the Petroleum Ministry, what was the nature of papers that have leaked?
Well, Gaurav, so far what we've been told is that these were confidential, documents which were passed on, and they amounted to a breach of, the information was passed on to the persons who were not meant to have it with them, and therefore it was benefiting them, and they were it was amounting to wrongful gain for them, and that is why this crackdown has been carried out by a special team of Delhi Police Crime Branch, which was looking into this matter ever since they got the tip-off. As I told you, as of now, they are absolutely tight-lipped because they say the operations are still on. They are yet to round up people, and only after that they will be coming up with some information.
Okay, Narendra Taneja is an oil expert and follows what happens in the Petroleum Ministry very closely. How crucial would these papers be, Mr. Taneja, before budget papers relating to the Petroleum Ministry and some other ministries were being leaked out and 5 people have now been formally arrested?
Well, first of all, I don't have full information, but we all know Petroleum Natural Gas Ministry is among the most sensitive economic ministries in the government, and as it is, whatever happens there in terms of agreements and contracts and visits and negotiations are extremely not only sensitive but crucial to India's energy security. And there have been kind of complaints in the past about companies complaining that sometimes they have had meetings and those details have gone out even before they have reached their office, wherever they come from in the world. So they have been complaining. So I think the government probably was aware of it and started investigating. But as I said, that I would like to wait for further information. But
yes,
at the same time, it is important that whatever associated with the Ministry of Petroleum Natural Gas, since oil and natural gas is almost the 4th pillar of India's security after Army, Air Force and Navy, it becomes very, very important and sensitive.
And Javed, just stay with me. I believe one of the persons arrested is a journalist, and I want to bring in National Affairs Editor, Executive Editor Javed Ansari for more on this. Javed, you've been speaking to your sources in the Ministry of Home Affairs. What more can you tell us about the 5 who've been arrested, including perhaps even a journalist?
Yes, indeed. There is a person who's been detained, who's been operating and who claims to be a journalist. His antecedents are being verified. There are more than one government official who's been arrested. They are both low-level officers. What the police are trying to get to the bottom of is whether there were other higher-ups involved and whether the documents that leaked had any policy implications, whether policy implications with regards to the fact that they were meant to benefit a particular house or more than one house which deals in this petroleum business. But very significant, there is a person detained who claims to be a journalist, and that his antecedents are being verified.
Javed and Athar, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. I'd also like to thank former CBI directors Mr. Karthikeyan and Joginder Singh, Sudhanshu Mittal of the BJP, Narendra Taneja for being a part of this broadcast. We'll be tracking that story very closely. There's lots more coming up on the other side.